Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. More tools on for repair. Starting off with the Dewalt 54 volt SDS drill, or 60 volt if we're in the States. This one. Let's see what this one's doing. Okay, so she's running and she's hammering and she's drilling, but she'll not drill out. Drill under the hole, no problem. Clutch doesn't slip. Once you start going to pull the drill bit out of the hole, pulling it out, the chuck is then slipping. Fine pushing in, slips coming out. The only way to get it out is to change direction and drill in reverse. So it's a gearbox issue. Full strip down needed. A little issue there, nothing serious mind you. And that clip is gone. It's the C clip for holding on the sleeve. And it's broken, that's not a big issue. Cap will still hold it on anyway. But we will replace that now that we know. Also, it's not too bad. You just want to check the actual tool holder as well. Make sure the two wee keyways inside haven't worn away. They're thin, they are worn, but they're only about halfway worn, so they'll be alright. My first obstacle, the change lever. This has to come off in order to get the gearbox open. How you do it? With a pair of vice grips. All you have to do is squeeze this button in a wee bit further to get the change lever to turn around the whole way. Easiest way to do it is just use vice grips. You can give it that wee extra bit of a squeeze, turn it to hammer mode, then just keep going. Come straight out. Now, get the cover off, flathead screwdriver, prise up the cover just a wee bit, just to get over this ridge. Like every Dewalt SDS drill, there's nothing but screws on it. There's your problem there. This is sitting loose, but the teeth on that there crown gear, see how there's a sloped edge? It's actually worn away. Bit of an odd setup. Nothing actually holds this gear onto the shaft. There's no clip or anything. There's no space for it on the shaft itself. It's just the actual fit of the machine and the way she's pressed on. This is pressed against this bevel gear, so it can't actually move back anyway. But that's all that's actually wrong with it. Just this needs to be replaced. The hammer pipe itself, teeth she's meshing onto are still nice and flat, so that doesn't need to be replaced. Just this. I'm going to clean this out anyway, because this is actually worn. Bits of metal will have got under the grease, so we'll also just wash this out. And it does need it anyway, because the cover and the whole gearbox housing covered in dirt. And that's probably just sticking because a little bit of grease has been leaking out somewhere. And the dust from drilling has been sticking to it. So we'll clean that all down, get it ready for the new part. Okay, a few months later, and I do mean months. I've been waiting around 3 months for that part to come on. Don't know what's going on, must be a common failure. Dewalt could not supply for a long time, but it's on now. There's the old one. You can see the difference. See how this one's all worn away to one side? At least nice and straight like this one. Nice seeing as the whole thing is stripped apart. We'll also change the 2 O-rings on the piston and striker, just to keep them good and make sure the hammer's alright whenever we get it back together again. Bit of grease to start. A little bit on that needle bearing. And the clutch gears as well. Just for the initial startup. See if we can get this all back together again now. Now, as you're dropping this on, make sure you put this little selector ring onto the change lever here. Make sure they engage correctly, otherwise you'll not be able to change the modes. That leaves that ready. Just get that grease well moved around inside so everything's covered. Another big gob on there too. Now the part that caused all the trouble, bevel gear for your rotation. Plenty of grease on that. might slide that. On there. That's probably where the problem lies. If this starts to wear, if you're pulling your butt out, pulls this back, eventually starts to slip. Really, Dewalt should have some sort of C-clip or something on here to keep that gear engaged all the time. Obviously it must be backing out somehow. If it's able to wear the back of that gear back here where it's locating on, shouldn't be able to wear that. But at least if it's a repairable fault. Piston back in. And that simply sits there. Nice and easy. To make sure you don't lose compression, get a good big gob of grease in there. Don't fill the entire thing, but you want a good old helping on there. That ought to do. For the outside of the gearbox here are all the machine screws. The other coarser ones are for the plastic body on the outside. Just in case you cross thread them, just start them by hand, just in case. The other 4 for the motor. Now at this point, be careful not to pull the tool holder out, because there's nothing holding this in. If you pull it, it'll completely come out and you have to open this up, put the piston back into the tool holder again, which would be a big pain. That's the gearbox ready. Maybe have to tidy up all these wires. Make sure everything's sitting down. And we'll get the outer cover put back together. That way might work better. Also just want a wee dollop of grease down in here. There's a needle roller at the bottom of this housing. You don't want that going on dry. If you want to put on extra grease, you can pump it on through this hole now. Now to make sure she works. Test her on the wall. Lovely. Nice one. That's her. Up and running again. One Dewalt DCH333 SDS Plus 54 volt hammer drill. With a new bevel gear, a few O-rings, bit of grease, washed out. She's ready to go again. That's her. Thanks for watching, folks. If you have one of these drills, keep an eye for that there. If you're pulling out of the hole and the bit keeps jamming, won't drive, check that there gear. It could be just stripped out, need to be replaced. Another thing that can go is the chucks. Wee tangs or wee keyways inside can wear out. Once they wear out, the bit just starts spinning around and falling out of the actual tool holder. Easy enough to change, a lot easier than actually changing this here. Nothing really else goes wrong with them. They are quite a decent machine. They very rarely give any motor problems, but if they do give a motor problem, switch problem, wiring, controller, battery contacts, all that is one piece, just like the Milwaukee's, but generally they're a lot more reliable. That one is finished, up and running again. Thanks for watching, folks. Give us a wee like and a follow if you're liking the tool repair videos. You can also subscribe now as well, and if you want to support the channel, you can also become members. Thanks for watching. Cheers.